Let's talk about our cities. I mean, really talk about them. For decades, it feels like we've been designing them for cars first and people second. But a movement is growing to flip that script, to bring our neighborhoods back to a human scale. So today we're going to dive into how New Zealand is looking to completely transform its urban spaces right from the ground up.
So here's the game plan. First, we got to unpack the big problem, our obsession with cars and what it's cost us. Then we'll get into the inspiring vision of what's called a complete neighborhood. After that, we'll dig into the nuts and bolts, the how, a zoning blueprint from Japan and this brilliant idea called the missing middle. And finally, we'll see the massive payoff this could have for our communities and our economy.
All right, so first things first, the problem. To figure out where we're going, we have to be brutally honest about where we are. And that story really starts with how a lot of our cities were planned after the war, which basically turned our neighborhoods into these, disconnected dormitories.
I mean, seriously, think about it for a second. The commute to work, the drive to the grocery store, even driving to a park, it's constant. For way too many of us, our own neighborhoods have become just the place we sleep, totally cut off from where we work, shop, and live our lives.
And this is the result of what the source material calls failed auto-centric planning. It's given us these isolated dormitory suburbs. It's created what they call negative productivity, which is just a fancy way of saying all the time and money we waste sitting in traffic jams. It's also led to a real rise in social loneliness because we just don't have those small everyday run-ins with our neighbors anymore. And maybe most importantly, it creates a huge barrier, a lack of universal access for kids, for the elderly, for anyone who can't or doesn't drive. It basically traps them.
So, if that's the problem, what's the solution? Well, this is where this exciting vision of the complete neighborhood comes into play. It's a total shift in thinking, from designing cities around cars to designing them around people.
Okay, so what exactly is a complete neighborhood? Well, it's way more than just a bunch of houses. It's a place where life actually happens. Imagine having job opportunities, all your daily needs, and chances to just bump into your neighbors, all of it woven right into the fabric of your community. And the best part, it's all just a short walk away. And this image, it just makes that idea so real, doesn't it? This little corner cafe, it isn't just a business selling coffee. It's what urban planners call a third place. It's not your home and it's not your work. It's that crucial social hub in between. These are the spots where the lost art of community building really starts to come back to life.
And look at this. This is the feeling of these places. You see it on the left with that beautiful, walkable street that's built for people, and you see it on the right with that public square that's just buzzing with energy. The whole goal is to create exactly this, a compact, vibrant, human-scaled urban fabric, a place that just naturally invites you to get out of your house and be a part of it.
So the vision is awesome, right? But the big question is, how do you actually do it? How do you make it happen? Well, this is where we get into the how-to. And believe it or not, the answer is inspired by a radically simple idea all the way from Japan.
Okay, to really get this, you have to see the difference between the old way and the new way. For years, we've used what's called exclusive zoning. It's super rigid. It draws hard lines. Homes go here, shops go over there, and offices go way over there. The new way, the one inspired by Japan, is inclusive. Instead of banning things, it lets compatible stuff mix together. It focuses on managing the effects, like noise, instead of just saying no. This lets a neighborhood just evolve naturally to meet the needs of the people who actually live there. And the absolute key that unlocks this whole thing is a concept called as of right. This is a total game changer. It means that if your idea for a small business or a new home fits the pre-approved rules, you can just go for it. You don't have to spend a fortune or wait months and months on some complex permit process. What this really does is it dramatically lowers the barrier for regular people and local entrepreneurs to get things started.
So what kind of businesses are we talking about here? Well, the idea is to start by allowing a pretty narrow range of low-impact stuff on corner sites. A local convenience store, a hair salon, a little cafe, maybe a small co-working space. Think about it. These are the exact kinds of places that make a neighborhood feel alive and turn a sleepy street corner into a little community hub.
Okay, so we've covered the rules of the road. Now let's get to the really cool part, the buildings themselves. What does the architecture of these new, vibrant neighborhoods actually look like?
The magic word here is gentle density. This is the perfect middle ground. We all know we need more housing, but nobody wants the overkill of giant, faceless towers plopped down in their neighborhood. Gentle density is the answer. It's about adding more homes in a way that's, as they say, dense but not high-rise, so it fits right into the scale and character of the neighborhood that's already there. And this chart is perfect. It shows you exactly what we're talking about. This is the missing middle. It's all that stuff that's been missing between the classic single-family house on one end and the big apartment block on the other. You can see the awesome variety here. You've got charming little cottage courts, you've got duplexes and fourplexes, you've even got live-work units with a small shop downstairs. It's all about choice, variety, and keeping things at a human scale.
And the benefits here are just huge. For one, this kind of housing serves a totally heterogeneous demographic. That means everyone from young people starting out to families to older folks. It lets people retire in place, maybe downsizing to a smaller unit, without having to leave the neighborhood they love. It also integrates what they call green utility, things like shared courtyards and tree-lined streets, right into the design. It's just a smarter way to build, a kind of smart density that you could really apply almost anywhere in a city.
All right, so we've seen the problem, we've seen the vision, and we've seen the plan. So what's the big payoff? Why go through all this trouble? Well, it really boils down to two massive wins: social cohesion and urban productivity.
And this table just lays it out so clearly. On the social side, this whole approach creates those vital third places we talked about. It directly fights back against loneliness, and it makes sure everyone has access to their community. It literally helps us rebuild our social fabric. Then, on the economic side, it sparks innovation by mixing people and ideas together. It makes it easier for small businesses to get off the ground, and it cuts way down on all that wasted time and money from traffic. You see? Better communities and a stronger economy, they really do go hand in hand.
In the end, it all comes back to this one really powerful idea: reconnecting the lost art of community building. This is about making our cities and our towns better places to actually live, not just places to drive through. So it kind of leaves you with a question, doesn't it? What could your neighborhood look like if we started rebuilding it for people?